how would you like to heal your emotions with Theta Healing? Jill will tell us how to do it. And what's so special about Jill is she helps you connect to your own inner wisdom to release old patterns and emotions that hold you back from living a more focused and joyful life. And as a master Theta healer and instructor, she teaches seminars and multiple spirit-based courses. So Jill, tell us about how can you heal your emotions? Heal Podcast with Lily Patrascu shares longevity and anti-aging techniques to stay young forever, increase energy, overcome addiction, and live your longest, best life ever. Shared by world's most innovative, alternative, and traditional health thought leaders, healers, and doctors. Discover quantum healing strategies to heal your mind, body, and soul.
So the first thing that is really important is to know yourself. So basically, you get to spend some time with yourself as if you're your own best friend. That first awareness and letting yourself practice on getting to know yourself is really important for developing those emotional skills towards healing yourself. So this is based on you. What I do is based on you and balancing your physical emotions, your physical body, your emotions, and then your spiritual aspect. So really, we have many things to connect to be a part of healing our own self.
Thank you. Tell us more about Theta Healing. How does it work?
Theta Healing was developed by a lovely lady named Vienna Steipel. And so she was healed from bone cancer doing this particular style of meditative, guided, focused prayer. So she healed herself and kept being more and more open. So everyone has a natural intuition. Everyone has a natural connection to love that created us. And she managed to focus on that and was healed with that connection and that focused thought and that focused prayer.
Thank you. What's the blueprint for someone who wants to heal their emotions with Theta Healing?
The people who want to heal themselves may need some guidance. So that's why I am here as both a practitioner and as an instructor. So I teach people how to do this for themselves. And you can follow through with some of the books that are out there on Theta Healing. And the idea of that first friendship with yourself, that first get to know yourself, I will guide you in releasing the limiting beliefs that are keeping your body sick.
Thank you. So what kind of results have some of the clients that have been working with Theta Healing? What kind of results have they obtained from trying to heal their emotions?
My own personal story is that I was having a lot of neck and back pain, and I was also in a high stress job. So you can think about that mind-body connection. So my story is similar to many of my clients as well, in that the stress I was going under did not let my body heal itself. And then on top of the stress, I had beliefs that I had to take things on. So if you think about how women are raised, for example, or how men are raised to always take responsibility, your body then leaves itself open to being more and more stressed and then more and more sick. So then this type of healing, my story, for example, is the idea of letting go of the stress, but recognizing the beliefs that I was holding, that I was responsible for everyone I came in contact with. So that's a lot. And once I recognized that, so there's a way of testing what your subconscious mind believes, and your subconscious mind runs everything. So then I was allowing my poor body to take all that responsibility. And working through Theta Healing, I had a practitioner. I released so much of that neck and back pain. It was like so much lightness came into my body. It's like, oh, this is good posture. This is how I can be in the world. So that was really why I was more and more interested. And then having that faith in myself, I think I mentioned that before. I was allowed to get to know myself. I was allowed to practice the faith I already had in a God, that there was a creator, and faith in myself kept growing and growing. And then the feeling that I can ask for healings for someone else, that was really a mind blower. and knowing that I could witness and ask for and then see healings happen. So many stress-related diseases, many stopping smoking, many overeating kind of beliefs that I've worked on in my clients. So it's really joyful and beautiful and effective. So I've had a few cancer clients who were able to heal themselves. They did additional healing, but I was working on the emotional aspects and the spiritual healing. So I'm trying to think of some other great examples, but I loved the stopping smoking examples because one of my clients had an idea that she really didn't want to stop. So it was kind of funny. She's like, I really want to stop smoking. I want to get pregnant and be healthy. And then I said, well, let's muscle test. Let's figure out what your belief is. And she's like, no, I'm really not ready to stop. And so she would accept the understanding of, I know how and when to smoke. And then eventually she did stop smoking. But it's the free will of the client that kind of stops them sometimes. And then it's also the abilities that they have to heal themselves.
Thank you. For me, like I've suffered from sore throat, cough, and migraine for 10 years. And then I went to Spain for like 3 months, and then I felt pretty much like 95% recovered. Then I went back to London and I was sick again for 5 months. And then I, traveled around to Dubai and Monaco and so on. And I was healthy again. And I was really, I would say almost like 99% recovered until a few days ago when I got upset again. And then I can feel again my sore throat and I'm, struggling to speak again. So I'm wondering, what does enable someone to kind of yo-yo from like pain to feeling great and then pain again and, feeling great and so on? Is there like a permanent practice that someone can follow so that they can fully let go of whatever is holding them back from a pain or emotional pain perspective?
Yes. So really what I would suggest is feeling into that, like maybe seeing me as a practitioner, but thinking about what your ancestors would have done if they're in a strange place. Would they have believed that someone was out to get them? Would they have believed that you're not safe? Those are really strong feelings. And that may be what is causing a little bit of kind of your allergic reaction. Does that make sense to you? Does that sound good? So it could be an ancestor. It also could be this current life that you're in. Your body is just not familiar with some of the places, or even London. If you think about pollution and if you think about the air quality, in addition to just the moisture in the air, maybe that's just not comfortable for your body. So I would bet that we could find some really good answers for your body not feeling good, having that problem with your throat. Then you could also have some old beliefs about women being able to speak their truth. As a woman, I have to keep myself quiet. As a younger person, I have to keep myself quiet. You could have picked that up as a child. And then when you're speaking your truth, when you're there being all that you are, suddenly your body says, no, we're going to help you remember what they told you when you were a child. Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
So there are a couple of those things I'm just picking up from you now.
Thank you. What I find is that I actually get sick a lot when I'm emotionally unwell. Like, for example, I was 99% recovered up to like 2-3 days ago. And then I had this, small upset, something that happened in my personal life. And I'm upset again. And then all of a sudden it's like I'm sick again. And it's, very frustrating. So is there something that can be done to like release that, like anger, frustration, or, negative emotions to kind of let go of that and to heal again?
Yes. So then we would need to look at the first time you had that same kind of emotion. You may have picked up that stress and that emotion as a child. And then this is just a pattern that you're in. So could I do that for you right now? Could I show you the truth about you being allowed to release emotions easily? So this is called a download. When I give you a replacement belief, it's a belief that you really need. So if you'd like that, just say yes out loud. I know who I am. I know who I am when I release these emotions. They are just emotions, right? I know that I'm allowed to, and I can be a member of my family when I notice these emotions and I let them go. So our problems come in when we keep yammering it out inside our own head, inside our own bodies. Our body takes on a lot of that stress. Does that make sense? It's like,
Yes.
oh, I can notice it. I can say, oh, there it is. There's that stress. Oh, there's that anger I have. You know what? It's probably a righteous anger too. You know, you're going to say that. And then, I have this anger and do you have to hold it? And
No.
now you've received that belief because you said, I accepted that I can notice it and let it go. So that's going to help your body heal itself. And you notice that you've got all those extra stress hormones going on. So maybe take a walk. Make sure you're taking care of your amazing self. Are you getting enough fluids? Are you getting enough sleep? And if you've got all these emotional, I'm going to call them diseases. If you've got all these emotional issues coming on, these diseases coming on, then yes, maybe go to bed early a couple of nights. Treat yourself like you would treat a beloved child.
Thank you.
Sound positive? Sound possible?
Yes, of course. And what else would you like entrepreneurs to know about healing their emotions with Theta Healing?
So a lot of times people who are working in their own businesses, they're motivated by negative emotions. Oh, you have to compete with that person. You have to do better than that person. That person is the same kind of business. Oh no, I might fail. So I want to encourage all of us to compare ourselves to our own selves rather than looking out there and following our DNA with competition. If you think back to long ago, if there was one berry bush and you found that berry bush, you would eat all the berries, right? So there was competition for food, and we're kind of hardwired to compete. So I suggest to compete with your own amazing self and to stop comparing yourself to other people. They may be doing it perfectly, but you don't have to be that other business owner. You get to be your own business owner. Does that make sense? Kind of let go of comparing and let yourself move forward with who you are as an amazing human being.
Thank you. I find that I don't compare myself, but what I do that is negative is that I am motivated by negative emotions in the sense that if someone comes and says, you don't have that many followers, or you don't have this, or you don't have that, or you can't do this, or you can't, it motivates me to kind of prove that I can, and I am like that. And I find that I am more negatively motivated than positively motivated, in the sense that you can say that I have this big mission to impact 100 million people, to be happier, to go after what they want, to share their stories, and to create wealth through books that transform the world. But I would say that I'm nowhere near that. However, if someone said, you can never do that, I think, I don't know, I would find a way to make it by 1 year, it's just.
There you go. So many people are motivated by someone else telling them, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Or they are just carrying the voice in their head. So that's a fun way to look at it. It's like, who said that first? Where did I hear that? Why do I need to have negative motivation? Why can't I be motivated by my service I'm bringing to the world? So that's going to be a huge opener for you. For example, the idea of somebody has to be fighting, or somebody has to tell me I'm not going to succeed before I fight more. And then why do you have to fight? You can work hard. Work hard is great. Fight? Maybe you don't have to fight. So thinking about that for your case, which is really beautiful, the idea of that, yes, I have a very clear mission, but do I really need to be motivated by negativity? The you can't do it kind of statement. Well, I'll prove you wrong. Some people like that. Some people are hardwired to motivate themselves in that way. So let's just take a moment there at just a couple of seconds and think, what would my life be like if I were motivated by love? What would my life be like if I could look at all my data, if I could follow my patterns and my trends and my followers, looking at all those numbers from a place of love? What would happen if I asked myself, how can I bring more love to the world today? If that's a morning question for you, add it to brushing your teeth, and how am I supposed to bring love to the world today? And you'll get a great answer. and you can step through your life without that stress of, oh, I'm not good enough. Am I good enough? You know you are, because you're bringing love to the world.
Thank you. Tell us about what's the impact of someone being negatively motivated in the same way that you can say I am as well, by a negative belief like, you can't do this. And then kind of like me saying like, oh, I'll prove you wrong. There's a little bit of nastiness, I think, in that, how does someone get rid of that nastiness?
Well, in Theta Healing, we connect with our own bodies. We realize that we are connected to the earth. So I would lead you through a guided meditation, a visualization, and knowing that you can receive support from the whole world around you. It's kind of cool if you remember your biology, how cells are made, how cells develop, how cells have their powerhouse of energy. We are like a big cell as part of the earth. We're connected to everything. And then drawing that beautiful energy from the earth to God, if you would, or to the creator of all, to love. And noticing that you can see that, oh, I'm always so negatively motivated. I'm carrying around my grandfather's voice. I heard my grandfather say that to my father, and that's how he moved ahead. And you notice it. In an intuitive reading, I would get it for you right away. And then we're going to make sure that we're connected with love, with creative energy, and then say, pull that away from my genetics, pull that away from my DNA, pull that away from every cell in my body, and show me what it feels like to be motivated by positive things, by happiness, by joy. You could be motivated by joy. How many people are going to feel more joyful because I'm supporting them in their path? So so that's what we would do, and ask for it to be pulled. I would witness it for you, and then we would muscle test you again. So we're going to see what your body responds, how your body responds to that yes or that no, and then you can take action on that the next time. So I call it God homework sometimes. You may have a little list of affirmations, but you get to receive them as part of your body. People say affirmations, and that's wonderful, but also you get to install them in your heart, in your very smart brain. So you get to move through your life with, oh, I know how to be motivated by joy. Wow, that's a good feeling.
Thank you. So what difference would you say it will make knowing that let's say you're motivated by love and by joy and not negatively motivated? Because, for example, for me, I feel relatively unsupported, and you can say also unsafe, almost like the world feels unsafe. Although I do know that in recent years, especially in the last, I would say, couple of years, I have experienced communities full of love. And it's been kind of like a novelty act for me just to see how empowering, how amazing it is to be part of an empowering, loving, positive community that is supportive. But in general, I have felt unsupported and unloved and definitely unsafe.
And so then your underlying beliefs are, I only learn good lessons when I struggle and suffer. When I'm alone is the best way for me to learn good lessons. So you have some of those feelings that are just kind of stuck in your body. So just like asking your permission for the other download, let's ask for that to be pulled from you right now. Is that all right?
Yes.
And for anyone who listens to this, so we can charge the video. So I know what it feels like is one of the key pieces. I know who I am in my family, and I'm allowed to be a part of a community. So those three, I know what it feels like, I know who I am, and I can fit into my family. I'm allowed to. So those are good ones, right? I am allowed to work in community. Then you will start noticing people who are supportive and on your same vibration. But if you're living your life on a level of lowness, a lower vibration, we could say, you will continue to call that kind of person to ignore you, basically, or to say, oh, I could work well with you, but we don't quite mesh. And suddenly when you say yes, so would you like to know that? And can we pull away that fear of, I'm always going to be alone in my work?
Yes.
I have to do it all myself. Those are two beliefs. So we're going to ask the creator of all that is to pull those from you. Ooh, take in a nice deep breath and see maybe where you could recognize in your body. Is it just here in your very smart frontal cortex where you solve your problems? Feel into your body. Is it along your back? I have to carry all my own burdens by myself. So just feel into your body. Another deep breath. There we go. Good. And so we may need to do a little more digging as far as how does this help you out? You're learning great spiritual lessons. You're learning great physical lessons. You are strong. You can do it on your own. And then we would figure out a little bit more. But this was pretty quick and easy, right?
Yes.
You say yes. I do an intuitive reading. And that's really what I do all day. That's my amazing job, and planning for classes. And I am seeing amazing clients. So that's the sort of ease it is. I actually chose the name Grace as part of my name because it is so graceful and easy. The amazing client like you just says yes. And then they talk a little more about, when was that first time? Where is it in my body? How can I take action on that? Basically, you get to be open and be curious. How does that sound?
Yes, it sounds very interesting. Tell us where entrepreneurs can connect with you.
Well, I am at thetagrace.com. So that's THETA. So it's like a brainwave. That's really where you go when you're in deep prayer or deep meditation, theta. And then grace is because, remember, it's graceful to do this.com. And so you can find a 15-minute free chat with me to find out more about Theta Healing and what it could do for you. And I am on Instagram, on Facebook, a couple others that I'm forgetting about, but I have a social media person for that. So that's how they can contact me. I'm also on WhatsApp too, so we can arrange things at different time zones as well.
Follow me for more interviews with world's most innovative health change makers to live your healthiest life ever.